shape of the nipple through the shirt. And that was the image. But the title is what drove traffic to the tabloid, right? And so what I decided to do about that is, okay, I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna use this to my advantage. And so I'm learning different tactics and strategies to deal with and manage with the cyber violence. Sometimes it's easier than others. And so what I did was I started posting a series of pictures on Instagram called the Nipple Revolution. Everybody get into nipple formation. And there were pictures of me, you know, topless, with jewelry, covering my nipples, fingers up, hat, Beyonce's formation, African style. And nobody knew what it was about until I published my blog post about the nipple revolution. And basically it was, you're gonna talk about my nipples, then my nipples are gonna talk back, and they have a lot to say. Let's talk about body politics. Let's talk about breast cultures in Africa. Let's talk about cyber violence against women. Let's talk about the role that the media is playing. Let's talk about things that matter. Because there was nothing, absolutely nothing in that article that mattered, right? So that's just to say, I'm getting better at this, you know, being a target.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful sort of a response to what happened there. But that's not what every other woman has out there. Not every other woman out there is as empowered as you to know what to do and what to use, how to use social media to their advantage. Akira, you had a response.
One thing that I found quite interesting and something that I've been thinking about, I know a lot of my colleagues have been thinking about, I'm a lawyer, I've been a lawyer for about 10 years now, and I'm from Ghana. And Ghana is a society where women are really strong, right? We have a female Chief Justice, we have a female Secretary General, a lot of high-level positions in the police are female. Like, we take a strong stance in our society, but I think the issue is oftentimes that women who are in politics or hold high positions, they especially are sometimes targeted and wanting to ensure that their voices are not silenced. So I'm just throwing that out there as an idea for us to sort of think about what we can do and how we can come together before the elections.
That's a good way to go. I know that social media is used to silence voices of women. I remember from my Namibian Twitter community, a very intelligent woman, I won't reveal her hashtag here, and she has the best comebacks for actually online violence. It's being used for women who has stronger voices to sort of belittle them and get them offline and commit Twitter-side, like Zawadi had said. Ray, I would like to come back to you. What does it take for the media to produce a high-quality article, so to say, maybe a radio piece, that highlights the issue of online violence against women?
I think it's also about resources, because if you really need to expose online violence against women in the media, you need good investigative journalists, because you need quality reporters. So it's also about choosing between profit or integrity. The goal is profit to get advertising. So these serious stories about women participation online don't get the space they deserve, because they're not profitable, they're not interesting to readers, they're not sexy to the readers, you see. So it's also about changing the mindset of editors, reporters, like how do you treat women, because this issue is of how women are treated online. It can also affect their reproductive health rights, because you see, we have been noticing in countries like with the New York Times in Mozambique, northern Mozambique, many have this general attitude that if I pay for your airtime to access the internet, you sleep with me, because girls are poorer than men. So women are always have this looking up to men to get money for airtime, money for data. So they exchange sexual favors, rural women, in exchange for access to the internet. So these issues, they are married to social poverty.
They're sort of interrelated. But does that then mean that, for instance, the traditional media has to write or has to expose their report about online violence, for instance, and distribute that and that platform of the online platform, so to say, so that those who are falling victim could access it at the same time?
I think the media in an ideal world should do so, but the problem is that these serious stories, they are not profitable for readers, so the media will always try to cut corners in this. They don't like these stories because they are serious stories. We are in the media, we are the problem, we know we are the problem. These serious stories, they don't have a wide readership. People want the sexy girls or the football or the politicians, but these stories, they don't get the amount and attention they deserve because of
it's a change of mindset altogether, and that needs to happen as we go. We've spoken obviously about trends that is happening, current trends on online online violence against women. Are there specific ones that you would like to highlight at this moment before we move over to the audience just to interact with them?
So one of the things that is important to highlight is you see this phenomenon of guys or men online feeling entitled to a woman's body. So it's become a cool thing to send nudes. So you see that in a lot of conversation, and people will say it in a joking way, like, I'm waiting for your nudes, send me your nudes, I need to see nudes. And so because we've normalized the fact that it's okay to send naked pictures of yourself, people feel entitled to that. And so that is a trend that has come on. And you find, if at all some of the men happen to be in possession of very private pictures, then they hold that against you. And so you find someone will not be as active online because they know someone somewhere has compromising images of myself that could leak. And nowadays it's like, if you have a leak on social to go viral, before you know it, you're in Kenya, you are in Uganda, you are in Zambia, it's everywhere. And because social media, it's so easy to get information out there, it then becomes traumatizing for people to stay online. And I think in one of the posts, by the way, if you follow the hashtag CyberVAL, we've run a couple of polls on Zawadi's Twitter handle, so would like for you to vote on those polls. And I did one in the morning that was basically asking, if you experience cyber violence, what would be the first thing you would do? Will you deactivate your account? Will you lay low for a while? Will you, what was the other one? Will you report or you basically won't know what to do? And a good percentage of people said they would report, which is a good thing because I think now people are beginning to realize that someone is infringing on my digital rights. Because if someone feels the need to come at me for something that I put on my platforms, I should be able to report that and not feel like it's a vulnerable place to be there. But also just to touch on when you ask what can the media do, and this is the reason why I say, being a journalist myself, I'm very well aware of the fact that the mainstream media will not push stories that highlight struggles.
Not working in tandem and collaboration with other responsible digital citizens, then I can only go as far as my sphere of influence. So if we can create more conversations, have more hashtags around different issues affecting us as Africans online, I think that would be really useful. So go beyond, FIFA Africa 16 and what are the different online conversations that we can participate in. In Kenya, for example, there are weekly Twitter chats about different issues that people can participate in, and that's how you can build relationships. I think we need a digital sisterhood for women who are victims of violence online so that we can support each other. That if you are a victim, you can go to this online community, whether it's on Facebook as a private group because you don't want it to be public, or a hashtag on Twitter that you can share your issues with. And then just to paint a really, really real picture of the impact of violence. Soon after